What the fuck is going on, guys? This is Null here, and this video is about the first time that I ever smoked weed. So, this was way back in 8th grade, back at the end of my 8th grade year, and me and my buddy, we'll call my buddy Chris, me and Chris were hanging out, just doing our thing. I think we had soccer practice later, so we were just chilling for them, waiting to get that done, and we were like, yo, let's do some crazy shit tonight. How about we smoke a little bit of weed? Be a little 14-year-old badass for once. So we were all hyped the fuck up. So we get to soccer practice. We're telling all our friends, like, yo, we're going to smoke weed. We're going to be so cool. And all this different shit. And, everybody's all, like, amazed. Like, yo, that's so sick. It was crazy back then. Back in the day. Anyway, so we hit up a few kids later that night and see if they want to come with us. Because, same type of kids. Always kind of wanted to smoke, but never got the chance. So we hit up those kids, and I think it was about 10 of us that were gonna do it. Oh fuck, my vape just went off. That scared me. Anyway, so we decide that we're gonna go to this abandoned mall. Now, it wasn't really an abandoned mall. It was more like a really, really large furniture store. But if you were to imagine a smaller mall, it was pretty much the exact same thing. So anyway, we need the weed first, obviously. So I call up my friend, who I knew did a lot of drugs and shit. He was a big stoner back then, and I was like, yo, I need some bud. Like, we're having a little smoke sesh here, and I need you to hook it up real quick. And so that kid was like, I got you, man. I'll come right through. So we bike over to this McDonald's that's over by his house, and he walks over and meets us there. But before he does, he has to actually pick up from his guy. And let me just remind you, this was back in 8th grade, so, prices and such and buying, it was a lot different back then. So this kid actually scales out the bud in the McDonald's bathroom and then comes back out with like 5 bags in his pocket. And so I hand the kid $75 and I'm like, yo, what can I get with this? Because, back then I thought me and the kid were cool, but looking back at it, I was a little 8th grader and he was just making bank off me. Like, I had no idea about prices or any of that shit, so I was a little dumbass back then. So, this kid sells me 3 Gs for $75. And, I'm like, man, we got weed. Like, this is dope. Like, I just got an awesome deal. Like, I just got so much bud for $75. Little did I know, I just got ripped the fuck off, and he was laughing his way home. But anyway, that's irrelevant. I still got the bud regardless. And so, we bike to this abandoned mall place, and there was actually no way inside of it. We would hang out on the top of it, and it was pretty cool. It was a pretty cool place, I'm not gonna lie. I don't go back there anymore because I don't want to get arrested for trespassing or any shit like that. I'll just go to a friend's house where it's nice and safe and almost legal. But anyway, so we're on top of this fucking abandoned place, and we didn't have papers, we didn't have glass, we had homemade pieces. So I actually bought a homemade piece. I bought a homemade piece off this kid. He, what did he make? It was like a socket, like a wrench socket, taped to a plastic tube, like a ghetto bowl, basically. Looking back, I just wish I used an apple or something, anything that wasn't plastic, because man, that shit's just so bad for you. Like, I hope I don't die from cancer from that night. No, I'm completely joking about that. You won't die from cancer from one night of ripping homemade bongs or whatever. But, so we were up there, smoking out of these homemade pieces, and since it was, like, my first time, I just kept smoking and smoking. Like, I didn't know when to stop. I just, kept smoking. And it actually got to the point where I was, like, almost falling over, like I was losing my balance because it all hit me at once. That shit was crazy. I'd never experienced anything like it in my life. I started like teetering back and forth almost. Like I couldn't just stay still. And I remember we were listening to some Bob Marley at the time. I'll never forget that. That was some good shit. It was a good night. So we're smoking, and then my dad texts me. And he's like, yo, how's it going? Like, what's going on? Because I think before that he was a little bit sketched out. Because I just said I was going to bike to my friend's house with my other friend. And it just wasn't a very good story. So he checks up on me, and I'm sitting there, stoned as a motherfucker, like retarded high. I'd say that was the highest I've ever been in my life. And I'm trying to text him back. And oh my god, was that the hardest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. I was trying to find the letters one by one, hoping that I was actually making sense. I don't remember what I actually sent back to him, but I think it actually did make somewhat sense, and he didn't really pick up on it. So that was good. But I did end up getting caught later on, but that'll be in another video because that wasn't the same night. So anyway, I think I smoked about a full G that night, and I was high as a motherfucker. There's no other way to say it. I was stoned. So after we're done smoking, everybody finishes up. We decide to get off the building. And this is when shit was a little crazy. So I get down from the building. It's not very hard because like we were all retarded high and we were still able to do it without falling, so that was good. There weren't stairs or anything, but you just had to like climb down onto this ledge and hop off. It's hard to explain. But anyway, we all rode our bikes there because we were young ass motherfuckers and didn't have cars or anyone to drive us. So we had like 8 bikes like stacked out front, and it was dark as fuck at this point. So I end up taking the wrong kid's bike. And mind you, this wasn't even my bike that I took there. It was my mom's expensive bike. So I take this other kid's bike, his bike was also blue and like a mountain bike. So I accidentally leave with that bike. And then as I'm leaving, my friend takes this one road that goes straight, that goes down to my house. And I, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to veer off left onto another road. So here I am, high as hell, going down the wrong street on the wrong bike. And honestly, I was just kind of riding, enjoying it. I felt like I was dreaming. I was just like, you know, when you're like real stoned, you hear music in your head sometimes. I don't know if that's just me, but I was just bumping to my own head music, and I was just having a good old time, you know? And so eventually my friend calls me. He's like, yo, where the fuck are you? And I think I went to Kmart, actually, because I was like, shit, I should probably find where my friends are. So I met my friend back at the Taco Bell. And dude, I was bugging out. This is when the paranoia set in. I was like, yo, they're going to know I'm high. They're going to know what's up. I'm going to get arrested. Like, I was bugging the fuck out. And so we get our Taco Bell. We're eating. We're having a nice little stony time. And then it was time to go home. So nothing too crazy actually happened when we got back. We just rode home, and I went into my back pool house. And my friend, his mom actually showed up as we got home, and he actually ended up getting caught that night because we had no eye drops. We had nothing. We were just like, we didn't even have water with us. It was fucking bad, dude. So he ended up getting caught because his eyes were red as fuck. And then later on, I ended up getting caught. But I'll save that for another video. And anyway, thanks for watching my first video, guys. I remade this a few times because, you know, first video, trying to set that shit up nice. But anyway, thanks for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe if you want to hear more. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.